this is what you call a hidden jewel. We are in Methuen, Massachusetts, in the middle of a residential neighborhood, and even though this place has been serving food and drinks for over 100 years, a lot of people have never discovered the Sweetheart Inn. You take a look around this spot and you know there's a lot of history here, and there definitely is. The original building, known as the Dow House, was built in 1776. That means that this place is as old as America itself. And rumor has it, guys like George Washington actually stayed here when it was operating as an inn. These days, even though it's called the Sweetheart Inn, it's just a restaurant. And by the way, it's a really good restaurant with incredibly good value. A few years ago, new owners came in and they have really revitalized this place. Danielle and Rob Laferriere. Rob's always back in the kitchen. Danielle's out here in the front of the house. Everybody knows them and everybody loves their food, and they really love their prices. You're talking simple, straightforward, and delicious all-American cuisine, and the atmosphere definitely matches the menu. The dining room is absolutely classic, and the bar is fantastic, always filled with locals. It is absolutely packed and stacked with all kinds of knickknacks and signs everywhere you look. Just a fun place to come, grab a drink, get a burger, have a steak, watch a game, and hang out. To start things out, the number one appetizer you gotta try is the spinach and artichoke dip. Their recipe has everything I am looking for. It's smooth but not too smooth, chunky but not too chunky, and has plenty of vegetables, but frankly, even more cheese. And the key to this is that it comes with extra sturdy, extra thick pita chips. You need a sturdy chip to hold up to that thick, creamy dip. Now here's one of the newer dishes on the menu. It's called the maple scallops. You take a bite of this and you just cannot believe what is happening in your mouth. The scallops already have that natural sweetness, but it's really enhanced by the maple syrup. And the whole thing doesn't get too sweet because it's counterbalanced by that salty, smoky bacon. Sweet scallops, smoky bacon, crispy Brussels sprouts. That is a sensational scallop dish. For decades, the Sweetheart Inn has always been known for their slow roasted prime rib of beef. This beef is super high quality. You have just the right amount of fat, just the right amount of tenderness. I like to round out my plate with some mashed potatoes and green beans. It's basically a perfect plate of prime rib. Another thing the Sweetheart Inn is famous for is surf and turf. You pick your steak, you pick your seafood, they'll put together an amazing plate. The most popular steak on the menu here is the ribeye. You're talking the perfect balance of fat and flavor. The only thing that can make a ribeye better is to pair it with some lobster, or in this case, lobster pie. Now, I'm a massive lobster pie fan. I've had it from Cape Cod to coastal Maine, and who knew one of the perfect recipes would be found here in Methuen. Tons of lobster meat in here. I'm talking claw and knuckle meat, lots of breadcrumbs, and tons of butter. That's pretty much it. Butter on top of breadcrumbs, on top of lobster, on top of butter. That's my kind of dish. On the pasta side of the menu, you gotta check out the scampi. This ain't just shrimp scampi, this is lobster and shrimp scampi. So this is scampi taken to a whole new level. It starts in the pan with some fresh shrimp and tons of garlic. Finish it off with some tomatoes and basil and a little bit of butter. You also got lots of parmesan and Asiago cheese and lobster. And I'm telling you right now, this has all the flavors you're looking for in an incredible scampi. You got that nice bite of the shrimp and that sweetness of the lobster. It is just so insanely good. One thing you'll notice about all the food here is that portions are big, and perhaps the biggest portion they have is the chicken parmesan. I mean, just look at this plate. This baby is a beast. It is overflowing with deliciousness. You get two nice plump cutlets on every single plate. Throw on some nice homemade marinara sauce, top it with a pile of mozzarella cheese, and just serve it over a massive platter of pasta. This place might be known for their prime rib, but they're becoming famous for their chicken parm. It's dessert time at the Sweetheart Inn, and that can only mean one thing: French toast churros. This is a combination of your favorite brunch and a New Orleans style beignet. Comes with some vanilla ice cream and whipped cream, and this is a beautiful dessert to look at and absolutely addictive. If you want to come here, just remember, trust your GPS. You'll be in the middle of a neighborhood, but it's worth the ride, trust me on this. You will end up with a meal that you will fall in love with at the Sweetheart Inn. When you think about it, the name really makes sense.